Is it that hard?
I just didn't know how to wave. I wanted to
Well,
wave, but I couldn't wave.
but is does everybody have the ability to wave?
Well, it looks like I do now. Well, oh,
Here,
actually, I
wave,
could.
wave. Let's see what
Hold
happens.
on. No, no, no. I can't wave, but I could do filters.
Okay, look, no, no. Oh, that's crazy. Stop,
Okay,
stop,
I don't know how to
stop.
turn that off. All right, there we go.
Like that.
Yeah.
Here,
Okay.
wait.
Okay.
Justin Dean is in. I'm gonna wave. Let's see if he's what happens. I waved at Dr. Justin Dean.
Okay. I don't even. All right.
Yeah. Oh, that look. Don waved. Don Stanley waved. Maybe that's how it comes up. Hey, who is
Yeah.
that? Who is that?
Oh, this is bourbon.
Well, let's bring her on camera. Let's go. Like she can't just stand there.
No, bourbon is a he.
Well, I
Hold
thought you had
on.
two girls.
No, I got two boys, but I'm just trying to figure this out now. No. All right. There.
All right, bring him on.
Bourbon.
Hey, Pika.
Hey, buddy. Okay, can you kiss? Kiss. Oh, you. Why are you shy? Okay, here's the other one. Sovi. All right, buddy. You're gonna join us? All right. Say hi to Charlie. That's Uncle Charlie.
Hey, bud.
Let's
Hey,
say
I'm
hi to
over
Uncle
here.
Charlie.
I'm
He's
over
over there.
here.
Look. Look. You see him?
No.
I think he's hot. It's not even hot out here, but he's hot.
Does it get hot there?
It was like in the 90s for a couple weeks.
Oh my goodness! So you said the 90s. Like you
I
think
said,
people aren't gonna understand? I'm waiting for
well,
you to say
I'll tell
like
you, I don't even know what
32,
I don't know
31.
what 90 is, but I keep that on my truck and I keep it on my phone.
What do you mean?
Like I just keep it in Fahrenheit. I don't know what it means in Celsius, but
90 would be like 34.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been like 91, 95. Right now it's in the maybe high 70s.
Dude, I can do the temperature, no problem. I can't do the speed.
Oh, like kilometers and
Yeah, like
miles?
it's because it's not 2.2. I mean, obviously I can do the
1.6.
1.6. I can't do that in my head. I can't do 1.6. I can do 2.2. That's
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, that's when like people want to like they want to know like so you really squatted 400 kilo. I'm like, no, that would be 2.2. That'd be 880. I wasn't quite there. I didn't do that. Like
But
380,
yeah,
maybe 380.
so I don't know. I like keeping it in Fahrenheit and even when like, when Boyle has his 12 bike workouts, my bike only goes in kilometers and I have to figure out in miles per hour, and I don't know, I get used to it.
So when you buy a bike in Canada, it only communicates in kilometers. It's not an option.
Either that or I don't know how to switch it. And I've tried to switch it and I can't switch it, so it's just kilometers.
I think there's a way.
There might be, but I might have to open it up. And
Did you notice I said that in Canadian?
you said what in Canadian?
Way.
Way?
Way.
How are you
So
supposed to say way?
okay, so you say it like normal, like I say it Canadian.
Way?
So in the way it would be like WEY with two Y's way
Versus way?
versus WAY. Yeah.
I, s- they're all WAY.
No, you have you talk you have a lot of Canadian in your talk.
Oh, of course I would.
Yeah, see, like that, the way you just said that was Canadian because you basically put a question mark at the end of the statement. Of course, I would. Like you put the
I
emphasis at
did?
the end. Yeah, like
I
that.
did?
But out there, they say A. Like they don't say A in Ontario.
They say A.
No, they don't.
Well, it depends on who you're hanging with.
Okay, so obviously the communities that I'm typically around,
Yes.
they're not saying A. Kelly would be the only one that would say A ever, and he grew up he grew up in Kamloops, even though he's originally from Ontario.
Yes. His dad used to teach me.
In
In,
in in Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
when I was at the University of Toronto,
Okay.
he taught me basketball.
He taught you basketball.
Well, in our activity class for our
Did he
program,
did he say put your hand into the cookie jar?
yes, he did.
That's the only way to
Yes.
do it.
Did Kelly teach you that, or did his dad?
I don't think I learned it from either of them. It's an international approach to shooting the basketball.
I don't know. I don't know what I learned, but yeah. But we did
University
have
of,
of
huh?
Toronto.
Yeah,
Yes,
University of Toronto, and
correct.
because I say that like Canadian, Toronto,
Not
CH.
Toronto.
Yeah, no, I don't say it that way.
Toronto.
Yeah, I say it Toronto,
Toronto.
Toronto with no T at the end. There's no T in the word.
There
There's
is
no
no
T in the
T.
word.
There's only one T, but it's a
The
CH.
so CHORONNO. Toronto.
Or you can say CHRONO.
CH Toronto. That's what I just said.
Or you can cut it down even shorter. Toronto.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you say it faster.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Correct.
that's yeah. And
Yes.
now when I break out the mans, then everybody starts jumping around.
Like mans and mandem.
Mans just don't want mans just need to spend time with their families.
But
That is an actual quote that has been requoted many times since I want to say 2017. Since it did happen in a locker room, probably in a team meeting. I'm not going to say who it was, but it has since been a running joke for a very, very, very long time. Like it's almost like a meme. Like if there's a
sure,
picture of something and then somebody will just post, "Mans just want to spend time with their families."
men just do want to spend time with their families.
FEMEL.
Families. Families.
Family. Family.
Family. Or if you're in the Philippines, your family.
Okay, that's it. The we went. I probably told you everything from the Philippines, right? Like I found that hotel. Oh gosh, the buffet in that hotel was one of the most grandest buffets. So
Was it
not
a casino hotel?
it might have had a casino. I don't know. It was right on the water. It wasn't in like a really bad area, so people could go for a run, but we were told not to go, way far.
Yes.
Obviously, I wasn't running anywhere. So it
Well,
wasn't.
I don't think you guys would stick out at all.
Well, who knows?
I mean,
We did have there was one evening where that was when Cleveland won the championship. So Tristan came late to that tour. That was 2016.
yes.
And then he took everybody to dinner, and so it wound up just being the players. But I remember telling like we had a security guard, and I said you have to stay in the Nobu with them because like he thought that would be like intrusive, and I'm like no, you need to stand there the whole time. Like you need to like you just stand a little bit away from the table. But yeah,
I've
Tristan,
stayed there.
where you've been to
I
that
did.
Nobu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've stayed there, but only I think maybe one night.
No, Nobu is a restaurant. What are you talking about?
No, there's a hotel, isn't there not?
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The Nobu is in a hotel, but I don't know
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
hotel is.
Okay. I don't know. But
But if you had stayed in the Nobu, that would have been a very interesting story that we would have to discuss
I
more.
wouldn't be full.
Well, you'd also have to rob a bank in order to be full there.
Yeah,
So
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
that
Maybe.
is like, I mean,
That's okay. I have
I'd
a
rather
cousin
take my
who's like the
chances.
head of the police force out there, so he'll take care
Mm,
of me.
yeah, that's the. Well, was it? I think at that time, whoever was whatever the political leader, would it be a president of Philippines or
Yes,
what?
he's
Okay.
still the president.
Oh, so you know who I'm talking about. This dude
Yes,
believed in martial law, right?
he's still the president.
Okay, okay. Well, what I can say, you can't.
No. Yeah.
No, he had
So
a. I don't even know in America what's like left or right, but he was on one side, and
yeah, yeah.
in his
I
suggestion.
mean, he definitely wants to, or at least wanted to clean the country up. I guess you could say. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
know.
know. I'm here. My dogs are barking. I don't know what they're barking about, but
All
can you
right,
hear them?
I can hear them. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
There's no one next door, but they're still barking at me.
what's going on? Everything back to normal in the greater Alberta area.
Yeah, yeah. I would say we are closer to normal than many of the other provinces.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's
Um.
what's different?
So like, we opened up sooner than Ontario. We opened up sooner than Manitoba. So, you know, for the longest time, restaurants weren't open. We opened up our restaurants before some of the other provinces.
So Alberta is like Florida.
I would say close to it. Yeah, yeah.
So does everybody hate them?
I don't know.
Because
I don't think everybody hates Alberta. They're more concerned with the prime minister.
I met him. You know that?
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. He. I don't think he knew I wasn't Canadian, but I'm not sure how he would. But yeah, he was. He came to one of our games. I forget where we were.
Yeah.
I thought it was remarkable that the amount of security that he had was paltry. If it was the president of the United States, I can
What
tell you
was
that
it in
much.
Canada?
Yeah, I don't remember where.
I mean, if it was in Canada, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you
Yeah, it
bump
was
him by
Canada.
accident, people would say sorry anyway.
No, he.
So
Yeah, I forget who, what, where, when, but yeah, there's pictures. It's on social media. We all had our little gear on, and he
did he
came.
shoot a ball?
No, it was in the hotel. It was in the hotel.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay. Did he
it was
pay for
cool.
your dinner?
Yes, in a way, because
Okay.
in a way, Canada, sports in every country except America are nationalized. So
Okay. Yes. Yes.
so in a way, he did authorize such behavior.
So your sport governing bodies in the U.S. are all private.
No, by definition, no. But the amount of money that is earmarked from the government itself is by percentage the lowest, I think, of any country in the world.
So the funding comes from private organizations.
Yeah, like you have to solicit
Sure.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
Nike in track and field
yeah,
or
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
So like if you're an Olympian, particularly in the athletics or any like individual sport, you're on your own. Like you have to compete and qualify to the standards of the national organization, but your training, like you can go to Colorado Springs. I don't know what the selection process is. There's
Yeah.
Colorado Springs, there's Lake Placid, and there's Chula Vista.
Chula Vista. Yeah. Yeah.
And but if you're like legit, like from what I've heard is that people that go there, they have to work like other jobs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the same
It's
thing here as
nothing.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
A lot of Canadians go to train in the U.S.
yeah. Well, because but that's on them to do
Yes.
it. And
Yeah.
anywhere is allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But the amount of resources that are available now also. The long-term athletic development system is non-existent. There is none. So like if you're 14, you're
Yeah.
playing AAU. Like you might be
Okay.
on USA
Yeah.
Basketball U16 because U16 is the first level,
Yeah.
but there's no any level of national organization. Whereas in other countries, probably more so than even Canada, maybe we're countries that are, they're on a different program.
Sure.
They're like,
I understand. Yes.
they just take you, and
Yes.
you live.
And
So,
survival of the fittest.
well, I said in one of the many Yeah, and there was at one point that I was offered a very significant position in the Chinese Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
Um, my what I framed was, don't worry about your training. Like it can be better. Like I don't. Obviously, these are very proud people. Many of them have never seen or heard from an American, a foreigner in their entire life.
Yeah.
So obviously, like the stories are true in terms of the quality of their training. But I said, don't worry about it. Like that was honest. Like don't worry about it. Just focus when you do find your winners, your Olympians, your high level. Then just you focus on them. And if that means recovery, whatever, they've already proved that they have the capacity to
Yes.
compete at the highest level. Just keep them who they are for as long as possible, because in the country of China, they have two they have two things. They have two things that no one else has. They have the a billion people. They have more people than anywhere else, and they
Money.
have well, other countries have money. They have breeding, and it's
They have what, sorry?
breeding.
Breeding. Okay.
Yes. Now, you might see in North America, a guy and a girl go to college and they're both athletes, so they hang out, get married, and have kids.
Yes.
That's not exactly how those two athletes get connected in other countries. You, big giant dude, you, big giant woman, you're together.
So
And
that's like arranged in a way.
yeah, I think arranged is probably a more socially acceptable word. But
But
yeah,
it's still breeding.
that's what they're doing. I've gotten to a point that I can identify the different parts of China, like where they're from. And obviously the northern part of China, which is, I think there's at least 20 7-footers. And I think they're all of Mongolian descent in Chinese basketball.
Yet Mongolia has their own national system.
No, not the country, but from the
Yes.
north. Like
Yes.
where
Yes.
I don't know the boundaries and et cetera to or what parts of that area it belongs to different countries. But yeah, like that's so in China, it would be the exact opposite of America, where if a 16-year-old is a stud in his or her sport, then shoe brands and Visa and all this, like that's where the money comes from, versus the money comes from the government in other countries.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why, like when the basketball players come to America, they don't make they don't make the money. Like the money goes back to the country of China, because, and this I kind of understand.
Their salary goes back?
Yeah. Like I don't
Okay.
know the percentage
Yes.
of what, but the reality is that Chinese NBA superstar had his life funded by the country of China.
Oh.
So
Leading up to the
yeah,
stardom. Yes.
yeah, and that's
I
where
understand.
I can't think of anybody right now. Basically, after what was his name? The Great Wall was Yao Ming, Wang Zhizhu, and one of my favorites, Meng Batir. And then a couple years later, Yi Lijian, who was like unbelievable, 7'2", ran around like he was 6'6", like it was unbelievable. I don't think there's been a couple guys since him, but nobody that really made it. So you haven't heard like any of these like stories.
Yeah. That's surprising
they have
to me.
Be allowed. They have to be permitted to
maybe
play.
That's why.
Well, that's
because
no. There's been a couple guys drafted. They just haven't been good enough. Like they're
okay.
Yeah, we've actually we wound up playing.
Not like Brampton.
No, nothing like Brampton. Nothing like Brampton.
Brampton. No.
Also the home of Jinder Mahal. So
of who?
Jinder. Never hinder Jinder.
Oh, I know.
WWE champion.
Yes. I know who you're talking about.
And when he speaks, I hear Canadian in his voice.
Where is he playing now?
What do you mean playing? He's in WWE.
Oh, okay. So why am I thinking of someone else? Okay, I don't know who you're talking about.
You're talking about Sim.
Maybe I'm not sure.
So Sim Bilar was 7'5". Remember,
Okay.
there's
Yes.
that
Yes.
famous,
Yes.
that very famous picture where I'm standing next to him and he's like
Yes.
up there.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sim is brothers. Him and his brother both played in New Mexico State, and Tanvir is his younger brother. He was 7'2", legit. Sim was 7'5". And I think he plays in Taiwan. He's not in like the big China league.
Yes.
That's what you're
Okay.
talking about. I'm
Okay.
talking about Jinder Mahal, who's in WWE.
But he's Canadian.
Oh yeah, he's like the same as Brampton. Yeah.
Well, now is he good or bad?
He's mainly a bad guy. He's very.
So he's
good
a heel.
Yes, he's a heel. He's very much a heel. Well, you're
and
like
that's why
you're not far from like one of wrestling's Valhalla. Like,
well, yeah, that is true. I've never been there, but we were supposed to go.
When?
Well, when you came up here years ago.
Oh, where were we supposed to go?
But it was snowing and we didn't have much time, so.
I don't remember. Well, when I went when we went to the mountains.
Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah, where we went to Banff.
Yep.
I've said this before. That is one of the best words in the English language.
Banff.
Yes, Banff. Because it's like Step Brothers, where the dude goes bam. Like, why are you saying that? Bam.
It could be spelled Banth and still be pronounced Banff.
Oh, I don't follow that one. Is that?
Oh, you have to think about that one.
That's not in my Canadian nomenclature.
But anyway,
anyway,
everything is good here. The weather is good.
Yeah.
Things are open. I don't think we still wear masks. But I don't know. Are you wearing masks down there? Is anybody?
You have to wear masks on the plane.
And that's it.
And the only other place where I have to go is at Disney. You have to wear it on any internal transportation, like the monorail or the buses.
But not if a ride was indoors, like is there Space Mountain in Disney?
I would say, I think like a month they had, or around a month that was cut off.
But is anybody wearing it anyway?
Yeah, there's people that are still wearing it. There's no question. Now, I live in a part of Florida that, in my mind, is not stereotypical of what people think of the American South or Florida. Like, it's like the sixth borough of New York. Like but like when I drive from here to Tampa, I say I have to drive through Florida. So that's where people think, like the South is like, that's stereotypical.
Are there many Canadians where you are?
No.
Like snowbirds?
No, they would be on the other side of Florida. They would be on the West Coast.
Okay.
They'd be like Tampa, Clearwater,
yes.
Naples, Fort Myers.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything on this side is all East Coast. Everything on the West Coast of Florida is like Midwest.
Right. How is it down there?
It's cool. Like, it's not.
Yeah?
It's hotter at home. Like when I was up in Philly last week, it's like a sauna. Like here, it's just like hot. Like it's not.
Well, because you have a breeze, no?
Yeah, but our house isn't like on the water. I mean, there's like a lake, but but it's not. I don't think that's it. I don't know. It's hot. Like I think what we'll find is it's hotter longer here. Like the summer. The summer goes to like November.
But even still, December is not cold anyway.
No, I mean, I'm sure it's cool. Like you wear like a hoodie or something, but it's not.
Yeah.
It would be like what I would be used to, like like a late August
Yeah.
on the beach, like where you're wearing jeans but you still have flip flops on.
Okay. I see.
I
That's
think
not
it
bad.
gets like that here in like in the winter. But here is like different than Orlando. Orlando, I've been in snow.
Okay.
Like I don't know what's the geography of Orlando compared to here, aside from we're literally on the Atlantic Ocean. But yeah, I've seen it snow and it's like cold to the point that you need winter gear.
Oh.
Like you won't die or anything, like or frostbite, but you need to wear like hoodie, ski hat to be comfortable.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
need
don't
to
know.
come visit.
Yeah, well, I think that would be good after September, right? Then you guys are allowed to come. As of
Well, not
now.
even that. Yeah. I don't know. Well, apparently we are now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Things are always changing, and then apparently American citizens are allowed, but Europeans are not. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, to come
So
into Canada.
yes, correct.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was always able to, with my, work permit,
Yeah.
but it didn't, didn't matter. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, let's see. When was the first time I think that we actually met in person? Was Vegas. You were assisting for no
No, it was before that.
no.
It was
I think you were assisting for ART.
But that was not the first time.
That was not the first time. What
No,
was the first
I
time we hung
I
out with
believe
Scat?
no, I believe the first time was with yourself, Patrick, Carson, Steve,
Steve who?
Booba, and you guys were. I believe you were teaching a course in California, and I
Oh
was doing.
no!
Yes, you know what I'm
Man.
talking about, and
Oh, what a
I was doing
disgrace! I'm so
DNS with Claire.
embarrassed.
When I was
So
doing DNS
embarrassed.
with Claire,
You were at that DNS course?
I was taking my first DNS course with Claire.
Oh, but you weren't at the seminar that I taught.
No,
Yo,
we
I
just
wish
stayed.
I wasn't there. Oh my! That was the first time. That was the first time. I think I actually realized I was doing it. I was watching that doofus talk, and I probably was like this. And like I looked over, and like Patrick was probably looking right at me, like, "Oh my God! Hey, you live and learn, right?
You live and learn.
Live and learn." Oh man, what a mess! What a mess! But what? I mean, that was
That was
probably
maybe
12, 13 years ago.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I'm allowed. I'll
Something
make
like
more mistakes. And like 10 years from now, I'll make fun of the mistakes I'm
oh,
making today.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine, and that's okay.
Yeah. No, it better be.
I mean,
Because that
yeah.
one, oh God. I feel sick. Like I feel like I want to like vomit right now.
But why do you feel sick?
Why would I?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, thank you. You're cheering me up.
No, but I don't
But
know.
okay, well, maybe this is interesting. So that was the first time, but then maybe at some point thereafter, we hung out a bunch in because you were still teaching ART.
Yes.
You still do that? You still have your
No,
little certification? Oh, so we can't say
I
that,
do
right?
not.
They're gonna come. They have such good people there. Such a shame that it's such a joke. Yeah, because they have like good people. There's some really good people. Some. I mean, it's
Yes.
so strange. And I hope they get the opportunity to actually influence it because from a scientific. I was talking about this a little bit with Urson last week, where I mean the amount of time and I'm not going to say validity, the accuracy of the science. Like there's about 12 minutes, maybe it's 20, in 3.5 days that they dedicate to any level of science.
I wonder
And
if they
it's,
do that online now
well, whatever it
to
is, it's
minimize
completely
time.
inaccurate. Maybe it's accurate now. Who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But talking about getting sick. Correct me if I'm wrong. We struggled to find something to eat, and right across the street from the Cosmo, which I think is actually still there, but I haven't been to Vegas in forever.
Well,
We
I don't
got a
believe we struggled to find something to eat.
yeah. It wasn't. It didn't seem like there was like because we didn't have enough time.
That's correct.
Yeah, like there wasn't like you couldn't sit down and eat because by the time you got there, you had to like get something quick and go.
You had to order and then go. Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you had I don't remember eating anything. I probably had something there.
No, you didn't have anything at that
No,
time.
because I wouldn't eat at such a
Yes.
filthy, disgusting, vile place. Was it Pink's? Pink's hot dog?
It was Pink's Hot Dogs.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
probably still
Yes.
there. It's a famous place out in LA. They had their little satellite place in Vegas. And you ate something that had like a lot of things on it.
It did.
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
sure it
find the
had
pic-
some bacon. I'm sure it
dude.
had some cheese.
Dude, it had death. It had death on it. They sprinkled it. They sprinkled some death on there. Some plaque.
I did. I
Sprinkled some
didn't.
plaque on there.
I did not pay for it. Well,
What
maybe,
I paid for it?
maybe, no. I mean, like physically paid for it.
Uh,
Yes, and you did pay for it. Thank you.
dude, we gotta find the picture. When I post this,
Yes.
I will. Like you can swipe once or twice and see
I'm
other
sure.
things.
I'm sure I could find the picture.
Yeah, we both. I think we had because every time it comes up, we
Yes.
share it. That is a good trick for Facebook. So like, because you see, I do that with Rumble. Anytime a picture
Yes.
comes up, I hit share. That way, on that day for the rest
You
of
never lose it.
yeah, I'll always see him on whatever
So
that day is.
yes, the
So
Rumble,
we do that with your hot dog that you
the
ate.
hot dog, and then the picture from BSMPG.
Oh, well, that's another very very special moment, man. When Art would do those conferences and what a everything was just awesome there. Like was there
Oh my God.
there was you know what, even the stuff that bombed. Well, it depends who you ask that bombed, but when you're up there making believe, and whispering to the people to make their arm move after you jiggle them a little bit, like or you stabilize here and then you move your hand over here so it moves like this, and
But it was
it was
okay
always,
because the family that was around there.
yeah, it didn't matter, like
No, it
it
didn't
was
matter.
yeah, it was so well organized and just a lot of good people, and that was man. Now I think I'm pretty sure I keynoted like 3 times, but the first one I think the other keynote speakers were Thomas Myers, Shirley Sarman, and Claire, and I'm like, what in the hell am I doing here? Like, how is it that, like, I'm like probably whatever, however old I am at that time, and like, how am I considered in the same billing as these folks? And like, wow, like that was something. Like, those were all
But
very, very amazing courses.
I I feel like even if we did it again, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, no, the whole continuing education landscape is
Yeah.
nothing like what it was. Nothing like what it was. Where speaking of that, you were a part of for a couple of years when we all tried to do our own versions of continuing education.
Yes.
And the efforts in Sacramento.
I had to think about that first. I still periodically open up that book.
No, I don't know.
I do.
Well, maybe I should.
I do. I think there's stuff in there. I struggle to find a way to put the pieces together. Just like when
Yeah.
you think about the course itself, but
No, the course itself. That if people are interested in that course, we can go back to when Greg Dimenois and I did one of these, and we talked a lot about it. It was just a
they
ridiculous
still
event.
have those courses though.
Well, great. It's if that whatever, man. That I don't know. Maybe that was a sign of things to come. Where it wasn't as it turned a corner where continuing education is not as much about filling in your gaps and speaking to your faults and trying to get better at things. It's just going to hang out with a bunch of friends
Yeah,
and get all this confirmational bias. And we
but
did.
at the
I
same time,
thought that.
Hank.
Huh?
No, go on.
I mean, we had everybody with the exception of those people that I remember Joel brought, who I remember one of them, I think at one point said, "This is the last thing I'm going to say." I said, that's a pretty good idea. But I said that out loud. But if everybody in the room was comfortable with everybody, because this was kind of like off the grid, this wasn't like a commercial event, everybody would be more comfortable to ask questions. Because that's my biggest thing of why I don't enjoy doing seminars anymore, whether it's my brand or even a Q&A, because people refuse to ask questions. And I don't understand why, whereas you have paid not just your money, but your time, et cetera, and you don't ask questions. Like, it doesn't, it's so strange. So we got away from that, because if everybody was cool, at least you eliminate the possibility that somebody is going to disparage you or look down upon you if you ask a question that doesn't meet their standards, because everybody was cool with almost everybody in the room.
But do you
But that,
do you think people don't ask questions because they're afraid to?
yeah, yeah.
Or what about in some instances they don't know what questions to ask?
Yeah, obviously that's fair, and I'm sure that's a percentage. I think most of it is they're afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Because I to this day still take very, very seriously that if no one asked questions, it was because I didn't present well
Yeah.
enough to
Yeah.
give them the question. So I start with me, and if some people have questions, well, then I just need to get better to make sure the other people have questions. But it goes beyond that too. I did a podcast with Brett Bartholomew. And it's very possible that the audio didn't come across very good because I was doing it in the gym, so there might have been some med balls being thrown, etc. But it was on the topic of how American Division I college strength coaches really struggle with getting paid what they think they're worth. Which is very accurate.
Yeah.
And we talked about that because of all the places I've worked and all the stuff that's on the resume, I was only at Division I college for a few months to as like an extra person. Like if they had too many events, then because that's where I got some of my hours to be an athletic trainer. So I basically I'm an outsider to that space, and so it was somewhat a different perspective because I have no emotional connection to that space, to that world or that clique. And I'm like, if you don't like what you're getting paid, why are you still working there? And and of course no one would answer. And then okay, so and then Brett would ask, okay, well, what are you doing to make the situation better? What are you doing to show your worth? And then, of course, I don't think anyone is under or overpaid anywhere, especially if it's after the first iteration of that job.
Yeah.
Not your first job, but if that job existed one time before, because the first time you just got to see what's out there. But then after that, the market decides how much someone gets paid. So if the reality is that the Division I system doesn't value great strength coaches, well, that's what it is. Like that's that's you have to then change the value so that these people see it, and that appears to be insurmountable to So anyway, Brett and I both offered if anybody wanted to engage in some kind of coaching on how they could, how they could save money to get out of Division I sports, or anything that would help them understand their situation. And not one person messaged, not even an FU. Like it was not one person took advantage of he or I invitation. Huh?
And many of them that were on this were D1 strength coaches or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole topic. Yeah. So no, I don't.
Well,
I don't
then,
think.
I mean, at the end of the day, are they really just satisfied where they're at, or
They're big on complaining.
or
I know that.
Or just complaining and not willing to take the next step?
Yeah. Look, I agree that it's not easy to, like, well, what are you going to do? Like, in terms of trying to hire associates, you don't know how much money you're going to make next month. That's different for a lot of people. But if you say you want to make a certain amount of money, that's not just one way to do it. That's the only way to do it when you do your own thing. And your wife, you guys have a business, whatever, you literally don't know how much money you're going to make next month. But you could also make a lot. And that's, if things go the way that you plan. So maybe you don't know how to plan. Have somebody help you plan so that you don't have to feel that you're underpaid. Because you're really not underpaid. Like, that's the thing. Like, they don't look at it like that. If anybody, it's not. Because the reality is that world doesn't value what these very, very good strength coaches do. They just don't care. Because there's someone else that would take their spot probably for even less money. So it's just economics.
That's correct.
It has nothing to do with, well, you suck at what you do. Because these are really, really good coaches. Like, really good coaches.
And I assume anyone that really, if it really affects them, they will get out and go somewhere else.
Yeah. And that's, at some point they have to. And one of the things that Brett and I talked about is that I hope that decision is not made too late in their life. Because once you have certain responsibilities, you can't take that buffer period of not knowing how much money you're going to make. Yeah, you just can't. Like, it's hard. So it's it's a weird thing. It's but when it comes to the questions, that seminar that we did. But to your point, like, if you go to any seminar, it's we also talked about with Urson many years ago. We talked about. You've probably heard me say this. Every year, I try to go to a seminar or at least read a book of something that I vehemently disagree with.
Yes.
And one year, I went to whatever the pain science conference was, and I was and I chose.
And you paid? Did you pay?
Huh? Did I pay?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Why is that a difficult thing to pay for something that you attend?
Well, there's a lot of people out there. That's a whole nother talk. Like, for people that you look up to and people that you want to listen to, ask them when was the last seminar that they paid for, where they paid for their flight, they paid for their hotel and rental car if necessary, or whatever. I still do this. It's but anyway, it's not a competition until there's a championship belt involved. So I went to that seminar. It wasn't their main conference. It was because I talked last week saying that I would always prefer to go to a seminar where there's like one speaker or one topic for 2 or 3 days, rather than Cubos talks, then Charlie talks, then Urson talks. Like it's all over the place after a
You
while.
could do that online,
Well, even I mean, whether you
especially
could or
these days.
can't, I would
Yeah.
still prefer to to learn one topic. So this was something, I want to say it was called cognitive functional therapy, and it was just horrendous. But more so, it was also at a point where it, like, I could, looking back, it really showed how continuing education was, it became about like being with a team and being with people that was all confirmational bias. And
A
as it
tribe.
relates to asking a question, if I had asked a question, I would have been accosted by 90 people in the room, and I remember posting that I hope when I talk that people don't feel that way. Like I hope no one is ever afraid to ask a question because of how you, like, I knew if I asked a question, this dude would have tried to rail me. And they would have gotten, very ridiculous. It would have been, because this dude was such a fraud. It was unbelievable how incomplete his message was. But they were eating it up, and but it was more like fans. It wasn't like, like, when people do raise their hand and they go to speak and they just say something. They don't ask a question. They're like, they just say something. And it's like just laughable how that was. And I just hope that, it's part of, here's a shameless plug for my new mentorship, because I want to work with people that are going to ask me questions and squeeze like a sponge and like make me earn my money, and make anybody earn their money. And I was afraid to ask him a question, like, because I didn't really have a question. It would have been challenging him. And I also think that's wrong. I think because he kept saying the core has nothing to do with back pain. But he kept identifying the core with a very high level of stiffness. And there's many other ways to value a strong or a good core. And he never mentioned this once. And if I raised my hand, I would have been challenging him. So what do I expect him to be like? Oh, wow, that's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. No, he said no one ever. So
I feel like that and I don't know, I think you'd agree with me that can happen regardless of whatever program one is affiliated with, or
no question,
or in allegiance with.
Yeah, and it's wrong, and that's what it's become. Like, continuing education has become collecting baseball cards.
And continuing education is just a whole bunch of the confirmatory nod, or
and that's
or whatever.
It's to the point where there are courses or speakers that I refuse to go to, not because I can't learn anything, but I can't spend 100% of my resources, meaning money, time, etc., and only come away with 20% of an opportunity to get better, because like I would have to drown out all this other ridiculousness. And I can't. That doesn't, that sucks, because I'm probably not getting better at something, but I can't stomach it because my mental health is more valuable than that.
Yeah, that's disappointing. That's the hard part, because you would be able to get something out of it.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that.
But in the meantime, it's also going to come out with a side effect of being frustrated, or in a way you can say you've wasted some money because you spent X, let's say $2,000.
Yeah.
And you're getting 20%. You're losing the rest of it.
When I mean, that's where, again, I'm not going to use this to plug the mentorship any more than I just did twice, but like it's business. People don't look at it like business. Like it's an investment. When you go to read a book, or like unless you're reading for your own enjoyment, that's still an investment so that you have more positive energy, But the when you go to a course, you should be able to put a dollar amount on how you're going to make money off of this course. Maybe it's just client or patient retention, which is an interesting way to monetize things because it's not real money. But but you should be getting better results. You should be acquiring more people, and you should have a mini business plan. So when you spend $2,000, you should actually expect to get a return of like $2,400, which would be a very significant return. 20% profit would be significant. 10% is good business in America. So like for us, because it's just our time that we're selling, really, like our profit margins appear to be much, much higher. But if we make bottles of water, or if we make Mickey posters, if we can profit 10%, that's really, really good business in America. That's like Walmart is like sometimes less than 1% because they just blow it out, and their 1% is still significant. So I wish when we talk about these continuing education, it's not before you even pick what it is that you want to go and learn. And again, that should be based on your failures, not where your friends are going. It should be clearly based on like where you failed last, so that you're going to fill in the gap. It should be very, very systematic.
I think it's okay to be somewhat based on where your friends are going if you trust and respect that they have put the time in there.
Incidental, because usually your friends are going to think similarly. I think you know what I'm getting at here, where that's not what happens. Like the whole notion of it's more important where you're going out to dinner that night than the seminar. But the
I mean, it might be cheesecake.
Could be, But if not, then that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
But to be able to be able to clearly monetize what you're spending here, I think is a big miss.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder if, for example, a new grad would $15 out, in the sense that they are not thinking of the monetization part of it yet, but maybe the accumulation of a vast array of knowledge or whatever you could say. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you are providing a service.
Yeah. Here's how I look at that. When there's two ways to get better. One is what you just described as acquiring new information. That's high value. Like that can be a high return. However, that acquiring new information is typically much more palatable process. Like it's happy because it's easy. Like you're just tell me things. Just tell me things. Oh, I like that one. I'm going to do that. That's cool. Oh, that's not really practical for me, but I understand what you're saying. So that's really good. The one that we miss, which is why I don't think, which is now what'll make sense as to why certain seminars do well and others don't, is you actually teach. Because if I'm actually going to teach, I expect you to actually learn. And for you to learn is an incredibly uncomfortable process. You have to.
It should be.
Well, you think about it, like you learn from your mistakes. If somebody isn't going to point out your mistakes, then how do you learn? Like it doesn't happen. But then as a speaker or as a messenger, it's a slippery slope. Because if I'm going to tell you you're making a mistake, I damn sure need to be right. Because if I'm not, then I'm now running a cult. Because if I'm that's where a lot of these places are going. Where I'm very proud that your hat is mildly broken in, but when you go to a seminar and people don't break in their hat and they're 110 pounds soaking wet because they don't want to lift weights and they just want to do flexibility drills, that's a cult. And all they do is repeat what so-and-so says. They don't have any individual thought. They just repeat what that motherfucker says in the seminars. Like, oh my God, like if these people actually realize how ridiculous they sound, all you're doing is repeating what your fraudulent hero is saying. Like, it doesn't, that's so crazy.
But I think that's all. People don't realize that's all they care about is
Yes, good
to
business.
repeat it, is to repeat. No, not even the business people, not even the leaders, the followers. I believe some people care about is the fact that they repeated it and they got acknowledged for
Yes.
repeating it.
At what point did this then, how far are we from learning or even
Yes,
acquiring new information? That's the thing.
like
That's what I get
that
fired
is
up about.
way besides the point now.
Yeah. Like
The
you're
point
supposed to go to
now,
these courses to learn or acquire new information. Again, two very, very different things. Not to be acknowledged. You want to be acknowledged, you be Roman Reigns and stand up there. Acknowledge me.
see, I know who you're talking about, but that's where we're at now is
Yeah.
acknowledgement.
Yeah,
And
no, yeah, it's social media. But that's like it's collecting baseball cards. It's being like, hey, yo, do you have an '84 Donruss Don Mattingly? Like, did you go to that course? Do you have that certification? And we all were part of this. And it's like it's when I talk about like I just wish people didn't make the same mistakes that you or I or whoever else made. I mean, that's the whole idea. Like, wisdom doesn't have to be your own mistakes. It could be someone else's mistakes.
but the hard part is you have to go through that to be able to come out to the other side.
Well, but also remember what we just said 8, 10, 12 years ago, it wasn't the same. Like, this. When we went and learned DNS, it is not anywhere close to the same watered down version that it is now.
Well, I haven't. I would likely agree with you. I just haven't been to a course in a long time.
Yeah, no, I have. I continued. It's been a little while, but I'm full paying customer. Take over B. I've never taken A over again, but I've taken B. I've taken C multiple times. Remember when we were going and like people would say, "Oh yeah, this is the 9th time I've took this course." I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But you'll
But
never
that's when
see
they were
reflex,
good.
never
That's
see
when
reflex
the courses were
locomotion
good.
ever again. It's like it's a ghost. It's a ghost.
But I think they intentionally pulled that out, though.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
why? Like that's I know why, but it's not my business to share it. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great. So like, but if you dumb it down and you take away this incredibly powerful piece, and you could substitute any type of model here, then you're now pandering to a lower common denominator, and it's very easy to target that acknowledgement crowd, to use your idea there, rather than people that truly want to learn and get better.
Yeah, it seems that trademark courses go through a period of, the early adopters, the people who are hungry, who really get it.
Yes.
And then eventually goes down to
Yeah.
the people that just want acknowledgement.
Is there anything out there right now that you think is at that early adopter stage?
I think
I don't. There's stuff that I would like to get into that I just haven't. It just hasn't come up yet.
Or haven't had the opportunity to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, education and information is through a different medium and different channel now. So, there are early adopters, but it's not in person.
Like what? What do you mean?
Well, just in terms of you searching what you want to search for online yourself.
Yeah. Well, I keep playing with this because my phone isn't charging. It's pissing me off. But again, it was confidential in terms of the athletes that we were talking about. But Keith and I literally called up a very well-known researcher and be like, hey, we have a run on all these tendon situations. Can we buy an hour of your time? Done. Like that's the continuing education.
Yes.
Because if he was confident that we were telling the truth, that it was going to be confidential, which it is and was, and his choice of payment was a donation to his lab, which
Oh, yes.
I clearly did. We could talk at a level that really gave us what we needed to be able to help people, and damn sure need to pay for it, because those athletes are paying us to work with them. So,
but who's doing that these days?
I know I did, and I hope other people will do too, because that's that's because whether that individual is a researcher, so he's probably only going to really be public at conferences. And you're absolutely right. You just go on YouTube and watch it. Like, you don't even have to go. You don't even have to pay. Like, I'm not sure that's a good thing, but I understand it is important for researchers to at least acknowledge and discuss if they are getting paid, so that the information is not tainted. I try to, people laugh at me like, hey, just so you know, I don't get paid by that company, or I do get paid by that company, like, I'm very clear on all that. So but that being said, we wanted questions. Like, we wanted stuff that wasn't in his presentation. We wanted what we wanted instead of what he just thought he was going to give. And he answered everything that we asked.
Yeah, I feel that, well, I'm sure people do that, but I feel more people need to do that and be willing to do that. But at the same time, I'm just not sure how many people are willing to spend the money, which is not your problem. It's not my problem.
Yeah. Well, they're spending money for these certifications and whatnot, and I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, this researcher they're not going to like your post because,
What do you mean they're not going to like my post?
Well, at the end of the day, what many people are just looking for is the acknowledgement anyway. Right?
Well,
so you're looking for the information.
Yeah.
You're looking to get better. Many others are just looking they just want to be acknowledged that they're part of the tribe.
Yeah. I'm gonna give me a second here. I want to try to plug in, but yeah, I think a big shift in some things that at least I'm doing is more related to now working with people in person rather than doing seminars, and that's that's the way it is. So.
When was the last time you did a seminar?
Huh?
When was the last time you did a seminar?
I mean, during the lockdown, I did a ton. Like
oh, really?
online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
I did a ton because it was also the first time in several years that I actually had like 4 or 5 consecutive days of not having to wake up early or get on a plane or etc. So I mean, and I've slowed down, but I haven't stopped. I mean, it's I wanted to and it's I wanted to. It's just even now when something does come up on the schedule, it's so cramped. Even though I've got a little bit more time than I had in the last several years, I'm definitely in the stage of acquiring information. But if I can, rip up something, I have every intention to do it. I'm not sure I have my eyes on anything that is. I mean, I'm just looking for tools and methods. Now the problem is most models that have very useful tools and methods, they also insist on their evaluation model.
On their system.
Yeah, well, it's not a system because it doesn't get
Yes.
you to other places other than their method. So
Yeah.
by
Okay.
definition, that can't be a system. Um, so that doesn't mean what they're showing you is bad. Is very good, but so I don't think I'm going to be able to go. But I wanted to do right before the wedding. There was a seminar up in Cape Canaveral. Well, you know, the neurological
Yeah. Yeah.
rehab
Yeah.
stuff. And I may still go if the seats are open, but I'm still going to filter those techniques through the evaluation system that I'm currently using.
And that's
But
kind of what we were talking about earlier, in terms of I've been to some of those courses, but it's hard because you have to filter out and maybe get at most
yeah.
20%.
Yeah, no question. But because of the uniqueness of those methods, and because potentially the travel is not significant, because all those things didn't come into play for us 10 years ago. Man, we get out and do whatever. Like, you can't
Yeah.
do that anymore. I remember when I was at MARSOC, there was one, I think I took 13 seminars in over the year because it was part of my job,
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
bring this stuff back to the command. But like, you're absolutely right. Like, what I would tell people is like, hey, if you're gonna come with me to this seminar and you work for me, now if you don't work for me, you can do whatever you want, and it's healthy conversation. But if you work for me and you represent me, then there's right and left barriers. Just go play on your phone or go to the bathroom when they talk about their evaluation system. However, you might need to do their evaluation system after you do the evaluation system.
Yes.
So sometimes you need to, like, you can determine if you need a wrench. And if you find that you use wrenches a lot, you're going to go to the store and buy the best badass wrench set that has like 32 different wrenches. Now you need to do the wrench evaluation to determine which of those 32 wrenches you need to use.
Mm-hmm.
So it's do the movement, output, readiness, and sensory systems first. Then you might have to do another form of evaluation to determine what wrench you want to use. No one talks about this. No one ever says this. But I think a lot of good people know this. You have to do it. And what I would say is, like, you're going to go to this seminar and you're just going to shut them off for everything. Just make them show you what do they think the relevant neurology and physiology, and show me how to do it. If there's a psychomotor, how do I crack the neck? Like, how do I do it? Tell me why. Tell me what you think is happening, and then I'll decide when I'm going to use it.
I'd also like to know.
Model.
I also usually like to know where, if possible, they get their information from.
Yeah, I would love to have that, but like, those are the two things.
Yeah.
And some of the best courses is where, when they do share the relevant neurology and physiology, you find information, not that they're withholding intentionally, but because you think more peripherally and more globally than they do. You're like, oh my God, that explains everything, but it's in a space that they don't even know exists.
No, absolutely.
The power of the stuff that I have learned through the, for lack of a better term, Omega Wave, but the training model behind it makes so much sense to me because of what I learned about trigger point therapy and fascial manipulation. I'm pretty sure my friend Dr. Antonio Stecco in New York City is not familiar with Selyanov's research, but they make so much sense when you put them together, because fascial manipulation, despite some of its mystery, is an excellent course for science. Like, if you don't ever like, rub on somebody, then there's a ton of value in those courses.
Well, what would the people in San Diego say about that?
I don't know. I don't. I'm not. I'm not even worried about what they're going to say.
But that's fine.
Yeah, that's the big thing too, and that's where you know, what I said last week with Urson was like, why do you even care? Like, why do you know, Urson put up a post on Instagram, multi-layers of you know, the manual therapy it actually has significant science.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I'm like, here, Urson, if you're listening, dude, is your social media, delete what these fuckers are saying. Don't give them, it's your platform. Don't let them be part of it. It's okay. Like, if they don't agree, like, I will never go on someone else's clinical post and say they're an idiot. Like, it's you know, what a rotten people. Like, what is so, like, these, I feel bad for these people. Like, what is, like, why do they feel necessary to go on other people's store? Like, that's what Instagram is. It's your store. Yeah, and be like, yeah, your stuff is garbage. I'm like, you might be right that so-and-so's stuff is garbage, but I don't know why it's important to them to build their message on how other people are wrong. That's weird to me. That's your old classmate right there.
I know. Yes, that is correct, and that's the first thing that comes to mind. First.
Yeah. Just don't worry what other people do. Like, just do your shit. Like, you know, and I might even say that I made those mistakes in terms of a public message. But golly, like, who cares what other people do? Here's what I do.
But people do care.
I'm not familiar with that model. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the hard part for me is telling or not telling someone, because I don't want to tell people what to do, but encouraging them to not care about if someone is calling them out or whatever. It's fine. Let them do their thing, or let them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
we spend too much time wasting our energy on things we don't need to waste it on.
Yeah. Well, it's and I think you know this, over the last 10 years, Sam and I developed, and you know, I'm the one that really talks about it a lot. You know, the clinical systems and processes, the data management systems and processes, but the ones that the third piece, the social systems and processes, it's the fuzziest, because I don't think any of us are experts in social interaction, but we have a system, because a system is duplicable, and it's where you miss as few things as possible. So basically, it's a system on how to act in a team, in a group setting. And if you're not in a group setting, then 3 out of the 4 pieces. But one of those pieces that you are referring to as to why people need to go on Urson's Instagram or send me nasty messages because they like blowing up balloons is safety. Like, they don't feel safe, so they have to fight back. When in fact, why would you even care what someone else says? Like,
how is their safety threatened?
But that I wonder. But probably, and this is probably what they would say, but who knows? Be like, you're not allowed to say things that aren't true. I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm allowed to say anything I want, and you don't have to listen. Like, that's, you know, you don't. It's unbelievable as to, you know, like, how they feel so connected to their job. Like, this is just.
But what's even better is how do they know it's not true?
Well, that's because they think what they think is true. In the reality, if you and I believe different things, we can still have a very, very positive relationship if there's layers to the relationship. But if all we have in common is that you want to use an elbow and I want to use a knuckle, then we're going to hate each other. And that goes back to this acknowledgement piece, because you can get acknowledged by getting in a fight. And the best way to get acknowledged in a fight is you go one-on-one with the great one. And I'm going to continue with these wrestling lines, but that's how you bring somebody up. That's how you bring up a guy in the middle card, by giving him a chance against Triple H. And Triple H will win, but now he's legitimate because he was in the ring with the game. And that's what people are doing. Like, like the best way to get acknowledged is to just say the opposite of somebody else, and you will get engagement. People will start listening. It's very true. Very true. Very true.
And it's to each their own, but it seems that that's all they're concerned with is that.
I think the problem is they can't say that. They would vehemently disagree. They're on a crusade when in fact the crusade that I would prefer to be on would be to go up the Florida Turnpike about 2 hours, make a left on I-4 so I can go to Disney. That's my crusade. I don't understand why people can't like worry about I must have done something right if I can go to Disney as often as I do. So it's it's so strange, so strange. But that's I guess the word is jealousy. I mean it's
or envy, maybe envy.
All right, if that's different than jealousy, what's the blueprint for life? That's a good question, Mo. Why don't you out here? So,
someone asked that.
Yeah, wait, what is it?
Oh,
WWE is the blueprint for life. I thought you said what is the blueprint for life?
Oh.
Well,
yeah,
actually, WWE
I feel
is
that...
a very significant blueprint because it gets people to emote. There's significant knowledge that can be learned from actors that create emotion through their actions.
Yeah, I feel that some that are more at a more impressionable stage, it's more envy than it is jealousy, and then once they get a little bit of ego in them, that's when jealousy comes in.
What's the difference between ego and jealousy? I'm sorry. No. What's the difference between envy and jealousy?
I don't know if this is correct. I see envy as...
No, what do you think? Because I don't know. I would use them as synonyms.
I think envy is kind of looking up to someone, wanting what they have. I feel jealousy might be looking laterally at someone and wanting what and not being happy for them.
Okay. Yeah.
For what they have.
Yeah, those definitions are different enough. I agree. I just happen to use the words synonymously, but no. All of those things are embodied in the current space of how we think we learn or acquire new information. I really I believe that. I don't. It sucks, but to say something that's a problem, the solution, and I'm not involved. You will not do this with me. You find somebody that seems to say things that you'd like to hear more about, and you just buy an hour of their time. I used to say this, from when there was, when kettlebell certifications were raging. It's like they were expensive. They were up there, and I'm like, imagine if you go to the I don't want to say because there's different brands out there. Well, a very recognized instructor, and what would their hourly rates be?
Oh yeah.
And then how many sessions you could get for the 2,200 plus. Remember, you had to get there. You had to fly. You had to drive. You had a hotel, etc. And divide out how many sessions you could get. I have to believe that is a much better experience without the certification than what you would get, standing around a bunch of strangers hooting and hollering about nonsense.
But people
is it
want...
really about learning how to mess around with kettlebells, or was it this group experience? I'm not sure group experience is going to pay the bills.
It's not. But again, I feel like people, I feel like people just want that group experience. They want the letters. They want rather than the information.
Then just say it. That's the thing. Just say it. Because I like being around people too. I just went to on the way home from seeing the big guy because they started camp on Saturday. Today is Monday, so I was able to go to Disney on the way home because there's a way to go where Tampa I can go to Orlando and then come back here, and I messaged somebody. It's like, I'm not going to go to too many of the booths for the Food and Wine Festival because the lines are long, and it's a lot better to wait on lines with other people. Like it's so no question that messing around and hooting and hollering with a bunch of people is different and has value. But is that
But what
what
if the
you
food
spend
was
money
better?
for?
What if the food was better elsewhere at the other lines?
Well, then I would go there.
Yeah.
But you see the point where that like the food would be the same whether I waited online or not. Like that's the
Yeah.
end game. So it's no, it's not a good experience. It's you want to believe it's a good experience. Viking Fit program. It's this emotional connection. We're trained to defend our emotional connections when others don't agree. Because good experience, we just have to say the truth. The truth is, you know, if you divided out the cost of this and then went to a high ranking, a very decorated instructor, you'd probably be way more talented at messing around with kettlebells and teaching others how to mess with kettlebells. That's my opinion. So, and again, that's my opinion. Like, if somebody doesn't like my opinion, then why does that matter? You know, like, it's so weird. So, it's,
But and that's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
People just want to be told they're right. They don't want to. They don't want to be challenged.
Well, and then you know, and going with what you just said, I mean, in speaking with a patient earlier today, and he was struggling with something, and he was looking for the solution, and I said, it's okay, you don't have to have the solution right now. Just
yeah.
just work through what you're working through. It's fine. You don't need the answer. The answer will come in going through whatever he's going through.
Yeah, what is it? It's like it's a really good question, but it's not the right question right now. Like,
Yes.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And that's fine.
So it's a fair question. It's a good question, but it's not always the right question.
And it's also, you know, in another sense, it's okay to have differential diagnoses and working diagnoses than just a one diagnosis that might be wrong.
Well,
You know,
yeah. Well, that's a whole perspective. I don't think it's an approach; it's a perspective.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's right. You're not, you know, you would like to have the right one if you can, but if you don't,
yeah,
it's fine.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if there's a way to communicate that reduces a little bit the importance of a series of words to attribute to a situation, and just say, yeah, it just sucks, or your shoulder hurts. That's all that matters right now. Like, we don't need to know, like, yeah. Now, if I treat a little bit, then I can maybe come up with an idea as to what might have been the problem before based on what I did. But I don't know that right now. It's all I know is that your shoulder hurts, and if I rub on it and it doesn't hurt anymore, all I know is that your shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. I don't really know why that happened, meaning I don't know what the problem was beforehand.
But it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, and now go pick up that kettlebell and throw it over your head a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the real real money. Yeah, that's the real money. There was a question before: is there any certs out there? No, I don't. We're talking about this for an hour. I don't think there's a certificate. I don't think in terms of certifications. Like, that's not. You know, we've been there, done that. When can we hear you on Joe DeFranco's podcast? I've never done his podcast, so I'm sorry. I don't think you can hear me on there. So, sorry. Yeah. Do you have a certification that you think is important right now?
Whatever. I think so long as the answer is no. The only one that's important is whatever you need for your license to get to do
Yeah.
whatever you can do.
Yeah, yeah. Now, maybe what they meant was, is there a topic? And I would simply say that that topic, I mentioned it earlier, that topic should always be in relation to your previous failure.
Yes.
So if you struggle with, um, if you struggle with you've seen three people that all were very similar and you didn't get the results as quickly as you wanted, or if unfortunately if at all, that's the book, or that's the seminar, or that's the private consultation with somebody that you should get. Now, whether there's a certification that comes with that, I think anybody listening, Jeff and I are probably in a space that has no value for certifications anymore, other than the ones you need for your license, for your insurance. If you are interested in competing for a job and they demand a certification, then that's mandatory. Like, you got to go get it if you want that job, whether we like it or not. So I don't even know, like, what's like Eldoa certified. I don't even care.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't. I, I'm not. I think they do have. Yeah, I think they do
there is,
certify after the
there is.
third or the fourth, but it's such. It's a different realm now.
Yeah, but I would be interested in learning, those positions. But if you just get your hands on the manual and just rip into it, and just keep doing it, like,
Or hire
uh,
the instructor, pay for his time or her
yeah,
time, and learn it one on one.
and don't put it on social media.
Yes.
So that's yeah. I mean, I've only done Eldoa 1 and 2. It was the most expensive manual I ever bought because if I go to 5, it was in the top 5 worst courses I've ever taken. But Eldoa, especially 1 and 2, is some of the most used techniques that I use of all the time. It is, especially since the lockdown, where having to demonstrate through video or send pictures was
And
that much more important than
yes,
it was before.
yes.
Eldoa, myofascial stretching, global postural stretching. I don't care about these certifications. I care about acquiring new information. Show me why. Show me how to do it. Show me why you think it works, and I'll take it from there. And those are things from an exercise standpoint, because it wasn't necessarily failure, but it would have been failure, because if I'm going to work with these people from a distance, well, then I got to be able to give them exercises. I was very excited, and again, there's a personal relationship, of part of, I hadn't seen him in forever, but to learn RPR, which has some gaps. I mean, there's definitely some gaps in there, but you know what? You do it where they say to do it, and something happens very, very often. And to be able to show somebody manual therapy that they're doing on their own was crucial during the lockdown, where you couldn't you couldn't see it. And the gap is, just to be clear, the gap is in how long it lasts. I feel good about why those things are happening based on those areas. But I also think there could be more emphasis if somebody was really interested. But it's JL was a very good course. I don't believe for 1 second these people are not using it for pain, or I don't believe that they are not. I don't believe for 1 second they are not doing it to other people. But I will stand here, and of course, I have a previous relationship. When I was rolling, JL was somebody who I looked up to, that I would never accomplish, what he did in powerlifting. He clearly said it. He said it 25 times, if he said it once, that if you are applying the technique to your client, you are not doing RPR. Done. Like, he said it. Now, I don't believe that people are doing that, but I do believe he said it because I was there and I listened. So I think that was another court. Now, do I care about that certification? No.
No, it's just the information.
Yeah, just tell me, and I would probably, because I was so intrigued by that, if whatever the medical version of RPR, I would be excited to study that and take that course. So you see, like just talking things out. You know, like I don't know what it's called, but be activated is called.
Okay. I don't know
And
what that is, but yeah.
it's probably just some other form of applied kinesiology.
Yeah.
And if we use that within a different model, where now something is clearly happening for a small period of time, and we jump in with the next level of progressive technique, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, if you just rub on somebody and all of a sudden their arm moves, or just like if you crack their neck and all of a sudden it moves, it's not going to stay that way. I mean, it's not science. But we shouldn't have to apologize for something desirable happening. But then you better go to Plan B and Plan C and Plan D as needed. So.
Yeah. I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, I think people. It's not my business. Whatever. If people want letters, if people want certifications, then that's their prerogative.
Yeah. No.
It's not up to me to say don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because that's what people want.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying I don't know the answer. I can't answer that question to the level that maybe I can answer other questions, because it's like you're asking me about something that I don't know about. I don't know. Of those courses that I just mentioned, I don't even know if they have certifications.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also different. I would like to see blog posts again, but you know who's doing them? Who has the time?
No, I'm doing video. It's way easier. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, except I don't put the captions, the sarcastic captions in the picture.
Like the mousetrap.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember that one? How do you build a better mousetrap? The business one. I don't know. I found that once my life changed in terms of the hours that I worked, I couldn't sit and write anymore, because it would take, like, you know, people read it and it takes 10 minutes, except for me, it would take, like, you read the 17th version of that, because I would never hit send until I felt it was as close to perfect as possible. I just feel like when I do video, it's like my tolerance to a standard is just different.
Okay, but maybe this is me, but I feel that you have graduated to a level where you are able to do video because you've gone through that process.
That may be true.
Of 17 drafts.
That may be true. I just can't imagine bringing myself to write a blog the way, like, if it was 2011.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Like, I remember it would take me so long to do one, because, you know, and I will say, like, they're all on every single thing I've ever done is on the website, and every once in a while I'll read them, and George will send me, like, what people are reading. They're reading stuff from like 10, 11 years ago, because he wants me to do videos to follow it up, because he has the proof that people are reading that topic.
But I also think it's a great idea for you to do a video to follow it up, because you have advanced from those points in time. Yeah.
When was the last time you put a blog post?
I think there's a short period of time, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where I would do snippet blog posts, but not to the extent of 7 years ago.
You know what else got me out of writing? Twitter, because the blog post would start with what would be a tweet.
Yes.
Like, I would go into my Google Keep and I would write something that would clearly be a tweet, and then that was my running list of article topics.
Yeah.
And then once I got into Twitter, I'm like, dude, I'm just leaving it there. I don't have to take 7 days of this wrenching process, because I didn't feel like it had to be perfect. Like, it had to be what I needed it to be.
But maybe at the end of the day, the blog posts were for us anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That's obvious. I mean,
You know?
I would like to think that it was never a conscious, "Hey, look at me,"
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah, yes.
but at the same time, look, I'm not, I'm not gonna get accused of any level of hubris here. But there's things that people have said to me over the years that I just can't imagine because I don't look at myself in that way. I don't think you look at yourself in that way for everything that you've accomplished and others. But like obviously those things were for a lot of people, and um, it's
You mean the content?
if yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
But they still wouldn't know anyway.
what do you mean?
But I don't know. I feel like I've ranted a lot on my blogs,
Yeah,
and to this day, there are some that wouldn't even realize that my content was to try and help better them, and
yeah.
they never realized that.
No, it was. I forget what the three words that Perform Better uses, but it's educate, inspire, and entertain. Those are the three that I would use.
Entertain, okay,
And
yeah,
yeah, it has to. Like people listen to you if you're funny. I mean, it's I think I'm okay with that. Like,
yeah,
yo, that dude's funny. I'm like, I'm okay
yeah,
with that one.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to hear that one. Yeah, you don't have to tell me how smart I am or whatever, because I'm not that smart. Trust me. But if you tell me I'm funny, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
I, um, and I think well, one of the best ones ever wasn't even a blog post. If anybody's still listening, well, this will go up on Instagram. It'll go up on YouTube. Maybe we'll try to link it below if we can, because I think it's still on the internet. One year, during one of the many years that the New York Mets had miserable injuries, they had an individual who was their primary, fitness performance guy, and the Mets beat writer interviewed me among some other people. Mike Boyle was in that article, and there's some things that I said where if Jeff Cubos reads it, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe like that's." Whereas other people were like, "Wow, Charlie, that was really introspective and very, very well said."
Okay, I'm
But
I'm gonna look for that.
you know I'm blasting the dude.
Okay,
uh,
I want to look for that.
so just look up New York Mets injuries. Try 2017 or something like that.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
or I'll find it. I'll find it.
Yeah.
I know it's out there, and I still talk to that writer. The HSS guys were okay with it. For what I said, and obviously my relationship with them would be far more important than being able to show my mom I was on
Yeah.
ESPN.com. That's but it was that the stuff that guy was doing with the players. That was when the Mets were charging their minor league players to work out in the off season. They were charging them money.
Are they allowed to do that?
I don't know. I know at the time they were. I don't know if they're still. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure that fellow is no longer involved with the Mets. But again, like who cares? Like I was just answering a question. Like I've never met this person. He's done me no wrong. I'm sure that if the likelihood that we would have a lot of connection talking about the training process, probably not. But I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other things we could talk about and maybe enjoy each other's company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people don't. So it's like this isn't like a hatchet. Like that article overall was a little bit of a hatchet job. The stuff that was going on there was really really interesting. There was a video of him training another major league player. His name was Nick Swisher, and he had him throwing a keg in, shin high snow outside the gym. And this coach then said, as soon as I saw him throw that keg, I knew that he had a hip rotation problem. Like,
Okay.
One of my quotes in the ESPN article was that I was unaware of the evidence that a visual inspection of a keg toss could reveal hip internal rotation limitations. So like you're laughing because that's like a very sarcastic
Sure.
comment, whereas other people said, "Wow, that was really well said, very introspective." Now look, he put that on a TV show. TV shows are meant to entertain. I work with other athletes that were on that very show. Now there was something else that wasn't on his show where he was using blood flow restriction training, which look, I think I guess you're not breaking the law if you don't do this. But blood flow restriction training allows you to accomplish things physiologically that are typically reserved for very high loads. So you're supposed to use low loads to take advantage of this temporarily hypoxic environment. Is that fair?
But he used high loads?
990 pounds on a hack squat. True story.
Okay.
True story.
So
the dude was hit. The dude was hitting different depth on every rep, and I'm pretty sure he had a hamstring issue.
Is he okay?
That player?
Yes.
I don't think he's still playing baseball.
Because that would be my next question. Is he okay?
Look, hey, I'll say it again. These expositions of training, one was clearly as part of an entertainment TV show. The other one was not. The other one was, a reporter was, interviewing them, and it was meant to be sensational, but it wasn't meant for entertainment. It was meant to be information. I don't think this dude's a bad person. I don't think this dude beats his kids. I don't think he robs banks, or steals stuff out of people's mailboxes. We don't agree on training, and just leave it at that. Now, that doesn't mean we're not allowed to talk about it. It doesn't mean we're not allowed to laugh, and it doesn't mean he's not allowed to laugh at me. That's okay too. It doesn't. No one's hurting anybody, and that's really that the writer of it was one of the legit Mets beat writers, and he goes, in a profession where colleagues are very reticent to speak about each other in a negative way. This guy was obviously doing things that really exceeded any level of intelligence standard. But it was for entertainment. I think that's important.
I mean, at the end of the day, he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's not my business. I hope the people who he's working with are okay.
Yeah. What's funny was the katsu, the blood flow was because you don't know when it was filmed, but that player had a significant hamstring injury, somewhat shortly after all that. Yeah. I think the big impetus was when that was the year Noah Syndergaard, and I have no information that this person who we're referencing had anything to do with his training. Noah Syndergaard had a lat tear. That was a big thing because I think Noah Syndergaard was lights out, devastating, and I think he had put on weight. He did a lot of training. Who knows what he did, and who knows if that had anything to do with this lat tear. But he had a lat tear, but it's also just the history of the Mets year after year after year. And I don't know how they're doing now, but year after year it was always unbelievable. Like the monsters, the studs that they would have. I still work with one of them to this day, and it's like you just shake your head because these are people that sometimes you look at professional athletes in some kind of way, they're still people, and like when you're around them, they're not like different than other people. Like they're they just happen to make more money than we do. It's all it is. And it's like, I feel so bad that this one guy who I still work with, it's like, what the, oh my God, like, how does this keep happening? You know,
Yeah,
but
that's at the end of the day, you're right. They are, and it's. I had Angela and I were talking about that the other day about how these athletes are still people, and they want to just be treated like regular people for the most part.
yeah, yeah,
But others see them as higher than regular people and get excited or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're just you care for them. They're you know if they're your client, they're your client. They're paying you, and you just want what's best for them.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't, it's a little bit easier for certain people that, I mean, I basically walked out of physical therapy. You know, I was in professional sports before I even graduated physical therapy school. So I get it. It's not the sensational thing. I mean, I was in the NBA. I don't even think I would. Yeah, I just turned 21, I think, or 22. So so it's not hard for me to look at them, in a different way.
Yes, yes,
Um,
I get that. Yeah, because it is hard for some others.
yeah, like I get it. And
Yeah.
and look, even still, I marked out when I met Shane McMahon the first time in the gym because he said my arms were big. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, but yeah, that's. I'm trying to think. Well, I don't think I marked out for Josh Brolin, but that was fun because the how these high level actors think, it's not what you think. Like they are so, like when they say get into a character, we talked about Thanos for like over an hour, like on
Okay.
the psychology, because like he's like, wow, you're one of the few people that actually understand Thanos, and I'm like, well, because he's not terribly different than me. Like he
Okay.
believes what he believes, and he will accomplish what he wants to accomplish under any circumstances. And Thanos thinks he's actually helping the world by eliminating half the world. Like, I don't have any beliefs of harming other people to that degree, but he's like, yeah, like that's.
But you understand.
But I marked out for that, like that
Yeah.
conversation. But so that's yeah, but that's when we talk about the not caring piece, it's I get it. It's challenging at times, but I sometimes hope that that people can be connected without like with layers of their relationship, so that if you do happen to disagree, because full well, there's a lot of people that I would have considered good friends that are not literally not friends anymore, that probably hate me because of blowing up a balloon. And like looking back, it's like, well, we were probably never friends. We were probably just good acquaintances, because
Yeah.
if you take away that one connection,
What's
then
there? There's nothing left.
yeah, there was nothing else left.
Yes.
So it was a very positive relationship, but it had no depth. It was only the connection on being like-minded as a coach or a therapist. We've talked well over an hour, and I'm not sure we've talked about actual clinical things. You know what I mean? Like this is
Yes.
more sociology.
Yeah, and that's I think you get to that point when you experience all the stuff over the last 10, 15 years together on that pursuit, on that search. Whereas
Yeah, yeah,
it is more difficult these days because everything is online, everything is, you know, the way it is today versus
yeah,
the way
yeah.
it was before. I'm not saying that it can't be the way that it was before, but it's just a lot harder for people
Yeah,
to.
because you need, it's when you talk about athletes, you talk about wrestling. there's a teams, or even in Disney, there's villains and there's heroes. I mean, there's two parking lots at the Ticket and Transportation Center. There's the villains and the heroes.
Yeah.
So once you pick your team, you would look very foolish to flip teams. But I'm actually very the first time I ever presented the systems and processes from Canada basketball. I talked about like everything that I'm about to say was based off of my failures. Like I changed. Like Rocky, like the audience in Moscow in Rocky IV. Like if they could change, then
I don't remember. I do not remember.
When Rocky has won the he beat Drago.
Oh yeah, at the end.
Yeah, if I can change,
yes,
and you can change,
yes, okay,
we all can change. Like there's things that like we even said it before. It's like, oh my God, like I can't believe I did that. But some people can't do that, and that's obvious that they can't do that because, for instance, some of these people that I'm referencing, they have been threatened by some of these certification groups, and they're saying nice things. They're promoting them, and they still get served cease and desists. But they can't come out and publicly say that they picked the wrong side. That's hard.
That's up to them, because I would just
exactly
say adios. It's fine, But I don't know. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I just you see, that's the kind of stuff that when the young learner, the young student, I just wish they could know those things so that they could properly judge what it is that they're hearing. And that's where I think conversations like this, when you really know, or you think because I could be lying here and just be really good at it, when you know really what motivates an individual before they decide to stick their thumb in your subscapularis, then you can judge the quality of their message and the validity of their message. But if you don't know anything about the person because they don't tell you, that's then there's a space, there's a gap in the validity of their message that you'll never know. You'll never know. Like, am I just doing this because I want to be a big fish in a little sea, or do I really have an intention to help someone? And that's a missing piece, going back to the continuing education piece.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hopeful that most people will get to where they need to get to. Just different people are different. Yeah,
they will. They will.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. We'll call
yes, sir. Hold on, hang on a second.
Hey. What are you guys doing down there? Hey.
I think they're hungry.
Yeah,
I gotta feed them.
You built that deck, right?
I did.
And the fence.
I built the fence. I built the deck.
Oh.
And
I'll help you, but goddamn, I'm paying somebody else to do it here. I ain't messing with that. No.
Well, there was nothing.
No.
Well, I mean, the fence is different. The deck, there was nothing else to do during COVID, and Angela wanted a newer deck, so that's what I did.
Nope. I'll help you carry stuff. I'm very good at navigating, around corners with very long things, but no, I don't have the patience to build things. I'm not good.
Okay, well, you tell me if you need one built. I'll come.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Sir. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.